Today I'm going to be breaking down the top 3 easiest strategies you can use here at Townhall 13 to 3-star any base. So as the title and introduction would suggest, sometimes when you are coming in to do war attacks or even just trophy pushing, you're a little bit pushed for time. You might not have time to fully plan out attacks like you'd want, and you need a really easy but strong strategy. So that's where today's video is going to be helpful for you guys. I'm going to be breaking down 3 different strategies, all of which the links are down in the description below for, and you guys will be able to crush bases with them. So the first one is the infamous Edrags. It's a super simple army. We have some balloons, a baby dragon, and then a whole load of Edrags. Honestly, this strategy is absolutely insane, but it's super easy. Now, don't get me wrong, sometimes things can go incredibly wrong with E-Dragons, but if you follow these steps, you're definitely going to have a much stronger chance at pulling in those 3 stars. So let's jump straight into it. Hero equipment is nothing particularly different to what we're used to seeing. The first thing we're going to be doing is identifying where we're going to attack the base from, and then we're going to go ahead and zap out the air sweeper that's going to be causing us the most amount of grief. We're then going to use the king and the queen down on one section of the base. Typically you're going to want to use them on a section of the base where they can walk towards the town hall to hopefully be able to take it down. You're then going to use a baby dragon on the opposite side, and then we're going to crush the core of the base with E-Dragons, the Grand Warden with his rage vial, multiple rage spells, and multiple free spells. Those free spells are going to be used on things like air defenses and single target infernos. Anything that's going to be causing your electro dragons lots and lots of damage, we're definitely going to want to try and freeze up and protect. Now we do have the Royal Champion, of course, that can come through on the back end of any attack, and typically with E-Dragons they will get loads of value early on because of the help of the rage spells and the Grand Warden ability, of course that Eternal Tome. But you guys can see as we progress through to the back end, typically most of those E-Dragons will inevitably die off by things like air defenses, single target infernos, and scatter shots. Enemy heroes can also be really strong against them, Royal Champions, Grand Wardens, as well as the Archer Queens. But you guys can see we're just going to continue pushing on through. We still have 2 of our hero abilities, the Queen and the Royal Champion, and with the help of both of them they are going to be able to push through these last couple of defenses. Not a problem for us. Typically when it comes to these E-Dragon attacks, your heroes are going to be the MVPs. They're going to carry you through and they're going to bring you in those 3 stars, and that's exactly what's going to be happening here for this first attack at Town Hall 13. So let's jump in and we'll take a look at the second easy attack. So it wouldn't be a Town Hall 13 video without, of course, Yetis, and this strategy is honestly, it's ridiculously simple. You're going to spam in the Yetis, you're going to spam in your witches, you're going to spam in your heroes, you're going to deploy your log launcher from the opposite town hall side, and then you're just going to sit back and watch as you hopefully bring in that 3 star. Now if you want to be slightly more strategic than what we ended up doing here, you're definitely going to want to start with a Yeti and double witch combination on either side of where your main portion of the attack is going to be coming in from. What I mean is, like for example, we could start a Yeti and a double witch here and a Yeti and a double witch here. Let them like 5 seconds maximum, take down a couple of buildings, then deploy all your troops at this bottom section of the base. This means they are slightly more funneled and there's a higher chance they're at least going to push through to the core of the base, because even though this strategy is really strong, sometimes you can still get things happening that you don't want to. That's like the king, the queen, and multiple troops walking around the outside of the base. We need these heavy hitters to go into the core, so sometimes it's better just, rather than going full spam mode, just take a little bit of a step back, try and get some of those troops to at least push through into the core, because that's exactly what we're trying to do here. Log launcher opening up all of these core compartments for us, not quite getting through to the back end of the base though, so that's what the jump spell is going to be used for. Now we have the king ability going off on that right hand side of the base. Free spell going to be going down on the single target inferno in the core. Our Grand Warden can't quite make up his mind where exactly he's going, but regardless, we're going to be raging up our remaining troops there in the core of the base straight in towards that town hall. We want to try and get it down as quickly as we can, just to avoid us taking too much damage on the back end of any of these bases. But the town hall going to be secured right there. Any witches in the radius, yeah, they're going to go down to that Gigabomb. Multi-target Inferno on the back end is a little bit daunting, especially when you're coming in with witches, because of course they chew through those skeletons very, very fast indeed. But we still have our queen with her ability to push through the back end of this one. Couple of Yetis in there as well. Grand Warden with the Rage Vial, also helping us to push on through. Like I always say in all my videos though, the equipment you decide for your heroes is completely up to you. Of course, sometimes I will recommend specific things, but honestly, it is completely up to you. Epic equipment generally is going to be better than normal equipment, but sometimes that isn't always true. Like when it comes to things like the Earthquake Boots for the Barbarian King, I find them to be exceptionally strong, but I will leave it up to you guys. We have one more strategy, so let's jump in and break it down. Now, I've already made a strategy guide on this specific attack, and that is of course Hydra. It's really, really strong at multiple different town halls, and it's no different here at Townhall 13. It's able to crush through bases, and it's very similar to actually what we did with our E-Dragon attack. We're going to decide which section of the base we're going to be coming in from. We are then going to go ahead and use a couple of lightning spells to take down a sweeper, and then we're going to be coming in with this first push of the attack. First of all, we're going to be looking to snipe off that town hall. Now, sometimes you might want to wait with your blimp, get it going all the way overhead with the help of that Grand Warden ability. Here it was actually pretty close to the outside of the base, so we're going to be able to snipe it down basically right at the start of the attack. Ideally we hopefully would have been able to take down that air defense as well, but that really is not the end of the world. We're going to then be using exactly the same as our E-Dragons, using our King and Queen on one side, Baby Dragon, who was over here somewhere, on the opposite side of the base, and then we're going to be coming in with the rest of our troops, that being the Dragons, the Dragon Riders, and our Grand Warden. Now what I would say is sometimes actually you can change up the Barbarian King here for the Minion Prince. I know a lot of people still aren't comfortable in using the Minion Prince, but he actually is very, very effective, of course, when you're coming in with a pretty much individually air-based strategy. We've got dragons, dragon riders. The only ground troops we really have in this is going to be our heroes, and even when it comes to heroes, we of course have the Grand Warden set to air. So unfortunately with this attack, we didn't quite create that funnel as much as we were looking for down at this bottom section of the base. The Baby Dragon that we used down there did not really funnel as much as we were hoping for, but the good thing with this strategy, the Royal Champion again is going to push through on the back end and is going to help us get through these last couple of defenses. So typically in these strategies, yes, they're all very easy. Yes, you can just go ahead and spam them, and most of the time you're going to be bringing in the triple, but sometimes I would say just take a little extra second before you go hell for leather straight into the attack. Decide, right, I'm going in against this sweeper, or I'm going in against this really heavy portion of the base. Where should I use my spells? How should I deploy my blimp? Will I be able to secure the town hall? Just these thoughts, let them pop into your head, and try and make a little bit of a plan before you go hell for leather. But typically, going hell for leather will still produce good results with these 3 army compositions we have taken a look at today. So if you guys did enjoy this video and you'd like to, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Let me know which one of these 3 strategies you guys would like to use, and while you're down there, subscribe to us here at the Barracks. We're pushing for 500. It would be awesome to get there soon. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.